Guys, it's your boy Roman. Today we're gonna reacting to Kubz and he's reacting to the scary animation of the most disturbing real life encounters. So without further ado, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm Jay from the Kubz. Welcome back to another episode of me reacting to scary animations and maybe telling you guys relatable stories from those animations of things that have happened in my own life. Who we have right now is Llama Arts, and if you guys want to check out their channel, I will leave the link to all their videos in the description box below. But no more talking, guys. We're going to check out some good animations today. If you guys are cool with that and you're down with that, everybody get ready and buckle up, because here we go. First video we have of today's episode is called True Craigslist Horror Story Animated, and I do have a story for this, but it's nothing interesting. Like, I used to sell stuff on Craigslist when I was broke as a joke. I just needed like some extra cash, so I'd be like, N64 game for sale, or skateboard for sale, or this t-shirt for sale, or my skid mark underwear for sale. The only time it was ever creepy is when a guy asked me to meet him to buy the skateboard.
Let's go.
He wanted me to meet him like at a spot behind like a railroad trolley track thing, and it was like behind this weird strip clubby building. And I don't know, it just looks sus. But he just wanted to ride the skateboard around like the open parking lot. But yeah, that was the only time where I thought it was really creepy because the location was pretty shady, but he just wanted to do some things, and you know, I was just very paranoid about stuff. But yeah, awesome. This is called True Craigslist Horror Story, so let's check it out.
I was looking for a car to buy for my son for his 18th birthday. I was searching all the typical car websites, cars.com, eBay Motors. They were all overpriced as expected. Craigslist was the only place to find an actual deal. About a week into my search, I found an 03 Toyota Camry. It had 67,000 miles, no accidents, no damage, and good condition for only $3,500.
Wow, okay.
This seems like a steal for such a reliable car.
That's a pretty good deal.
Mileage. The seller lived about 10 miles from me, which was a reasonable drive when looking for a car. I gave him a call to set up a time to come check it out. The man sounded normal on the phone. He assured me that there were absolutely no problems with the car.
Why does he look so freaking creepy already?
Damn.
And the guy's selling you a car
at
that steal price, and his name is Bob. Run!
Brought along $3,500 in cash, even though I planned on wiggling down the price as much as possible.
Yo, he looks absolutely
I pulled up the
horrifying.
to Bob's property about 15 minutes early.
I did not expect
it was a tiny little house
horrifying.
with a decent-sized property, only because it was a bit far from the nearest neighbors. The garage was open, so I walked over to see if anybody was inside, but except for an unusual amount of car parts, it was empty. The car was nowhere in sight. The only car on the property was an old pickup truck. I went over to the front door to check the house numbers. It was the right address. The doorbell button was missing, so I knocked on the front door. I knocked for exactly 5 minutes before deciding to give the man a call. So I dialed his number, and I heard the sound of a cell phone ringing from inside the house.
Ooh!
I was extremely confused at this point. Now I knew I had the right house. I didn't understand why, if he was home, why he wasn't answering. I decided I had to take a peek through one of the windows to see if anybody was inside.
Why would you do that?
Oh no.
Why would you do that?
I couldn't really see much, as it was pretty dark inside the house. I saw a very old-fashioned dining room set, but across from that, I saw somebody standing at the back door of the house, staring outside.
Oh, that's creepy!
I figured
dude, that is horrifying.
Why is he just looking at him through the thing?
But he didn't even move. There was no gate or anything to the backyard. It was just a wide-open yard, since this wasn't a rural area. I simply walked around the house to the backyard. I didn't understand how he couldn't hear me.
Bro, this is like the creepiest setting ever. This dude must want that car bad. I just steal that guy's truck and just drive home.
Back door, I made a shocking realization. The figure standing by the door was a taxidermied human being.
Oh!
Damn.
Oh shit, I got some goosebumps!
The blinds to the window I had peeked into had been shut, but I could see two of the blinds bent open.
Oh, I got goosebumps from my goosebumps!
You can probably guess I had the gas pedal to the floor the whole way home. The whole situation still makes no sense.
That doesn't make any sense at all!
The fact that there was no Toyota Camry, the taxidermied human being, the fact that there was no car there leads me to believe that whoever that man wasn't planning on selling me anything. And that also leads to the disturbing thought that I was very close to becoming a lifeless statue staring out that man's
Oh,
back door.
that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Maybe he just wanted the guy to see his art, you know? Maybe he just wanted him to see his work. Like, he was so impressed with his taxidermy human figure that he was like, man, I gotta call some sucker up. That is actually legit terrifying, though. We're starting off
Damn,
on
that
a
was
good
horrifying.
note. Wow, okay,
This
so
gives me a
that
chill.
actually trumps any Craigslist type deal I've ever had. I've never had any, like, stiff taxidermy thing. I mean,
Goddamn,
when
that
I
was
sold my
very
stuff, I got a
horrifying.
little stiff, but that's about it, you know what I mean? I'm so dumb. But next up, guys, we got True Craigslist Horror Story 2. So maybe this one will up the ante.
This story took place a long time ago.
That
back in
first one was really
2002,
good, though.
when Craigslist
I'm
was in
impressed.
its early years. Many wouldn't know, but back in those days, Craigslist was a lot different. It was a lot more so an online garage sale, or just a place where people would list old things that still had some value that they were willing to give away. I got a basketball hoop, a hockey net, and a spoiler for my car, all three in perfect condition in that same year. You'd be lucky if you found something like that these days. Anyway, me and my son were dying to buy a hockey net so we could practice in the cul-de-sac we lived in. For the record, this was before I got that free one I mentioned. Wouldn't you know it, on Craigslist there was an ad for a slightly used regulation-size hockey goal for only $50.
Is that good? I don't know anything about hockey, guys. Is that really good?
It came with a puck and 2 slightly used hockey sticks.
Oh, okay, that is
I
good.
still have a picture of that ad to this day. It seemed like the perfect deal, but he lived about 2 hours away. I called the number he had listed, and he sounded pretty normal on the phone. He had a pretty deep, dark voice, but nothing that would be off-putting. I remember his voice being a bit emotionless. He agreed to meet halfway due to the distance, said he'd put the stuff in the back of his pickup truck. He said he could only come after he got off from work, though, which was much later in the day, way past dark. We agreed to meet at some rest stop off the highway. Me and my son, who was 11 at the time, took my wife's minivan, the only car that would be able to fit that huge thing.
Can't let this asshole sit in the front with you, Dad.
Within an hour, we were at the truck stop, which was empty at this
God,
hour, but was
I hate
decently
that. That
lit
was
by
my
3
dad.
big
Oh.
light
He probably
posts.
put me in the trunk.
I remember
parked
when I
right
went
under
to
one of the
school,
lights
on
and
my
waited.
high school,
I'm
I
sorry,
fought someone.
but like, you're doing this to
Of course,
yourselves. You're
I
writing
beat
your
the
own
crap
horror
out of him.
story. It's raining, it's
So,
nighttime,
yeah.
you're at a freaking 3-light rest stop. What is this?
A
There
pickup
we
truck
go.
pulled in off
Well,
the highway
if
right on
he's
time.
watching me, then
He stopped
I'm
right
gonna
in front
beat
of me.
his fucking
I
ass.
went over to his window, but then noticed there was
Step
nothing in
on
the
it.
back of his truck.
If you're
You
watching
soon.
this,
Steve?
I will
He
kill
asked
you,
me.
and I will beat your
Yep,
ass up,
that's me, I said.
and, well,
Alright, my buddy's
it's
bringing
over
in
for
the
you.
stuff with his
You
truck.
bitch. Fuck you, you
The guy
bitch.
pulled up behind my car and put it in park.
Oh!
I suddenly had a bad feeling.
Because
I
this is
told my
where
son
in
to
my
get
high
back in the
school
car and lock
first
every
in
door
my
except
high school.
mine.
So I want
And
to
get the
Two more
straps.
beams
beat
of
his ass.
headlights came off the
So
highway
that's what I
into the
want.
lots. Surely enough, pulling up next to me. And not
2
surprisingly
cars?
at this point, there was no hockey equipment in either one of them.
Oh, man,
My heart
that
was
is
racing.
terrifying.
I was worried. Not for me, but for my young son, who I for some reason brought with me on this trip.
How hard do you think he shat his shorts inside of that car at that exact moment?
A group of large men mixed with heavy-set and muscular physiques stepped out of the 2 pickup trucks behind the first one. They
Damn.
eyed me from head to toe, giving that typical intimidation stare down.
Maybe they just want to do a
Then
hockey
this
match
bald
in the
guy
parking
wearing
lot.
Sunglasses said in a deep voice, "Where's the money?" I instantly pulled out my wallet and handed it to him, begging him to just let me and my son go. He pulled out like $100 and was pissed, expecting more. He then sent 2 of his goons or whatever to get my son. At
What?
this point, I screamed and begged
That
for
son
him
ain't
not to
worth
shoot
shit.
him. One of the men broke the glass to the minivan back
Yo.
door, and I vividly remember the disturbing, heartbreaking screams of my young son. What happened next was what I can only explain to be a miracle
Man,
from God
he's
answering
crazy.
my prayers. A car was entering the lot from off the highway. All the men stopped and turned to look at it. As it got closer,
Man, he's
my heart
crazy as
literally
heck.
dropped in excitement.
It was
As I
Superman?
saw it was a police car.
Oh.
The lights suddenly began to flash as he got close enough to see what was going on. All of the men were back in their trucks within seconds, speeding off down the highway. Well, at least 2 of them. The truck in the back was caught immediately by the police car, and backup arrived shortly. I explained everything to them, and they got the men that were caught to rat out on the others surprisingly quickly. I guess luckily the guys in the back truck weren't very loyal to whoever their leader was.
Ooh,
If they even
snitches.
had any
They're
type
dead.
of leader.
These guys are marked.
Alright, you
Believe
guys,
it or
hope
not,
you
I
guys
had a
enjoy.
police escort all the
So if
way
you're new
home
to
to
the
make
channel
me and
below,
my son feel
so
safer.
I'll see you next video. Goodbye.